Hello everybody, welcome back to another creepy video compilation. Please help me get this recommended to others by liking this video, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to keep seeing videos just like this.
Things that bother you, they never bother me. I feel happy and fine.
I will be showing the video, but nonetheless, hi, my name is Ethan, and here's everything you need to know in under 1 minute. In September of 2017, 31-year-old Laura Wallen vanished into thin air. Her boyfriend Tyler Tessier had played the part of the worried boyfriend desperate for answers. However, he was living a double life. He had a fiance, and he feared that Laura would expose her pregnancy. The night of her unaliving, Laura texted her friend and stated, "Tyler has taken me to an open field in Damascus. I'm not sure why we're here, but it's in the middle of nowhere." Her body was found a few days later. Sam and Colby eventually uploaded a video where they were in the same area at the same time, and they captured a woman begging for help. Here's the video.
What the? Did you get that?
Yeah, I got that. Somebody is screaming.
Someone's screaming bloody murder.
Dude, no way.
Whoa. Guys, what the? Do you hear that? Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yo, my god, that gave me chills. This is insane, dude. I think that has to be the creepiest video I've seen. I gotta check those guys out.
Wait 1 minute, bro. They scared it. Oh my god. First of all, we all know how the dollar bill be having so many subliminal messages behind this shit, bro. Now, bro, fold your dollar bills up just like this right now, bro. And then look, I'm about to point it out to y'all.
I think I already see it.
Do y'all see this shit, bro? Hold on. Bro, look what the dollar bill look like, bro. What do y'all see? Do y'all see that shit? Bro, this shit is crazy. Look, I had to zoom in real quick, bro.
I
Do
mean,
y'all see the details of the mint?
it does look...
The mint means face, by the way, because I'm from Philly, you feel me? But look at that shit. Look at the eyes. Bro, that's a reptilian, bro. That's a reptilian. Oh my God!
I want to say it's a stretch, but after hearing about the robot pigeons that apparently exist, I don't even know, man.
This is why you stay away from cursed places. Frank from Franco TV visited an abandoned dam located in Guild, Tennessee. The place is said to be haunted by the victims who lost their lives in the historic hazards of the waters. As Frank attempts to communicate with the dead, he begins to hear screams echoing in the dam. Searching for the source of the sound, he makes his way down to the lowest floor. At the bottom, he finds a piano where someone seems to be humming nearby. And as he goes further in, he meets face to face with whatever was following him. Frank doesn't notice, but what looks like a pair of glowing eyes can be seen, watching him. Then, a muffled voice is heard when he goes through the curtains. After communicating with the entity, it was made clear it didn't want to continue anymore.
Can you give me a sign if you want me to come up?
No.
Dude, that ghost didn't waste no time. That was an immediate no. I guess it's time to go home. The one thing scarier than a ghost, a kid ghost. This dude's never gonna sleep again.
What is really going on inside Bohemian Grove? Bohemian Grove is a 2,700-acre forest retreat that the elites of the world would meet at every July for alleged events, ranging from meetings to speeches and lectures about the future of our world. Or was it? Well, you see, in the year 2000, a filmmaker by the name of Alex Jones snuck in, and this is what he recorded. It said that while he was there, he saw drunken mass orgies and mock human sacrifice rituals in front of a 40 feet tall statue of a Babylonian owl god. And even though it was admitted that the nuclear bombs were the direct consequence of the 1942 Bohemian Grove meeting, many people are still wondering.
I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this at least once before. He used to have so much good information and they've made him go crazy. He's gone off the deep end. I I think you might have overfilled your tires, man. I think that's all that was.
Not believe that glyphosate in Argentina is causing increases in cancer. You can drink a whole quart of it and it won't hurt you.
You want to drink some? We have some here.
I'd be happy to, actually. Not really, but
not really.
I know it wouldn't hurt me.
If you say so, I have some glyphosate.
No, I'm not stupid.
Okay, so you.
No, but I know
so it's dangerous, right?
No, people try to commit suicide with it and fail fairly regularly.
Tell the truth.
It's not dangerous to humans. No, it's not.
So you're ready to drink one glass of glyphosate?
No, I'm not an idiot. You're a complete jerk.
Okay, so speaking of weed killer, if you or any relatives lives near a golf course or right on a golf course, you should probably go to the doctor regularly, because all the pesticides, all the stuff to keep the golf course green, it's causing cancer in a lot of people that live nearby golf courses.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Yep, she's just going. Keep walking.
She's still going.
She's going. Oh my God.
She's still going.
Good luck.
She might make it to the other gate on the other side.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
She's the alien.
Yo.
I love how the cops are just watching her too. You just know there's a sniper at the top of the mountain who has her right in his crosshairs. Somebody come get their aunt.
It's about to get a little scary. It's super deep here. But the boat's radar picked up an object below me, with a mysterious rope floating on the surface. I'll follow the rope down.
Man, that looks so awesome. I envy people that can go scuba diving, but I don't think I could ever do it. I'm too scared. Add security guard to the long list of jobs I'll never have. That is not for me.
It's possible that they could come for me because I'm very outspoken about it. But if you ever hear that something happened, that I died, I'm not depressed. I didn't commit suicide. I'm telling you right now that we need to stand up and fight. So just remember, if something happens to me, it's because I've been telling the truth and they don't want that truth to continue going out there. But I did not kill myself. I am not depressed. I'm very happy, and I am very excited to be alive at this time in human history, because this is the sign of the times. All the stuff that is bad is going away, and all the truths are coming to light.
All right, it's 12:41 on May 20th, and I was supposed to be interviewing Dr. Rashid Buttar right now, and I literally just found out right now that he's not going to be on today's show because he is deceased. And I don't have the words to articulate what he meant to me. So I just found this out 11 minutes ago. So I'm just going to re-air our interview from last week. And my thoughts and prayers go out to Rashid Buttar, Dr. Rashid Buttar, the late great Dr. Rashid Buttar, and to his family.
There's no way. This is getting way too scary. Let's Google this real quick. Google wants to know your location. No. Rashid Buttar died days after claiming he had been poisoned. His official cause of death wasn't released, but he spent time in intensive care recently. Yeah, we can leave that one unsolved for now. Oh my god, dude. That is amazing. It's like he knows. You let that groundhog have whatever his little heart desires. That is so awesome.
For some mysterious reason, there have been several strange sightings going on all over the world, and lately there's a new trend where you can buy these military green lasers pointed specifically at the stars, and they will reply or respond to the green laser. What's going on here? Check this out. This is really crazy.
¿Qué estoy grabando?
Ya, voy.
Is this another one?
Oh.
Sí, pues, es que debe ser un metal grande o un espejo, no sé por qué.
No, ya, porque se dio filete en negra.
Porque para que rebote de esa forma, claro, ¿cachai? Eso no es una linterna, ya cachamos que no es una linterna.
In this video recorded in Santiago del Chile, these guys actually get a response from the star, or at least what appears to be a star. But it happened in other places. Keiko Verdejo captured something similar in another location. He points the laser at the star, and at first what appears to be a star disappears, and then it shines the laser back at him somehow. This is super crazy. A lot of people are starting to think that maybe some of the stars aren't stars at all. And there are a lot of theories to maybe the fact that we're living inside of some sort of simulation. I don't know if you watched The Truman Show, where there's this star that falls from the sky and he actually finds out that the star isn't a star at all. It's actually something else. What's your take? What do you think is really going on here?
I wonder if maybe they're hitting satellites and maybe it's bouncing off the satellites. That's so weird.
So y'all are just not going to talk about the little kid who disappeared within like 50 miles of Skinwalker Ranch? Well, I'll be happy to take the reins on that one because you know how I feel about unsolved mysteries. 12-year-old Garrett Bardsley disappeared in the Uintah Mountains August 20th, 2004. Garrett and his father Kevin woke up around 8 a.m. on a Boy Scout camping trip. There were a total of 18 scouts and 6 or 7 adults along on the trip. They headed to a lake for some fishing, and Garrett managed to soak his shoes, socks, and pants. Understandably, Garrett didn't want to wear wet clothes, so he told his father he was going to go back to camp to change. The rest of the Boy Scouts were up a hill only 150 to 250 feet away. Kevin knew Garrett knew where he was, so he allowed his son to walk alone, but kept an eye on him as he went around the lake, even shouting directions of which path Garrett should take. After 20 minutes, Kevin was wondering what was taking his son so long, so he went back to the camp and asked other boys if they had seen Garrett, and nobody had. A huge search of the area with hundreds of official and unofficial searchers started, but they only found a Nike sock belonging to Garrett. The sock was damp and crumpled up like Garrett had taken it off like he was going to get changed, which was in line with what his father said. The campsite was less than a quarter mile away from the lake on a well-established path. Garrett did not have a backpack or any other provisions when he went missing, but he was carrying a short ice fishing pole, which was never located. Hundreds and hundreds of searchers looked for Garrett, even on horseback and using dogs, but no other trace of him could be found. Garrett's sock was half a mile away from where he disappeared in a granite boulder field. Authorities working this case believe that Garrett went into the boulder field trying to find shelter from the cold weather. Because of the mountainous terrain, the temperature dropped to around 18 degrees the night Garrett vanished. Police and Garrett's family do not believe that an abduction took place because there was no evidence of such. And at one point they said they don't believe Garrett made it past the first 48 hours that he was out in the wilderness. The official search for Garrett was called off after 9 days, but family and other volunteers continued to look for him. A 3-mile radius into the mountains was searched from the last place Garrett was seen, but no other evidence was ever found. What is strange about this case is authorities and Garrett's family pretty much wrote off a mountain lion attack and a bear attack. They said there was absolutely no evidence, no trace of blood, no clothing, nothing of Garrett's to be found. Yet they also said an abduction was unlikely. And Garrett was not the only person to disappear in this area over the years. What do you think happened to him?
Yeah, man, that poor kid must have been terrified.
Didn't go in.
Aw, that was the cutest murderous animal I've ever seen. That thing was ready to go, man.
If you're ever camping alone in the forest, which is something that I started doing when I was young, if you ever hear animal sounds that are not quite right at night, you get up and leave. Because if they're getting close to you and they don't want you to hear human sounds, they'll start communicating in animal voices. There's a few guys that were out there and they started hearing like sounds that were just a little bit off. You know, you hear like a laughing falcon sound and he was like, that doesn't actually sound like a... And then he heard the capuchins from different areas, and usually capuchin monkeys are going to be all together in one spot. And he heard it from different directions and he was just like, he said he climbed into the river and crawled like a turtle out of that. He said he went for hours and just to escape.
I guess I don't have to worry about that when I go camping here in Texas. Thank God.
Did you guys see this video of fishermen catching what looks like mermaids on camera? Now, this is not some kind of setup. There's obviously something in the water, but it's on both sides of the boat. And the strangest thing is the stuff that they start to hear, which sounds to be like some sort of song. We all know that mermaids sing to lure fishermen into the water to, I don't know, do whatever it is they do. I'm not a mermaid expert. But check this out. Tell me what you guys think.
I need that water. I hear him. Where's she at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise?
At the end, you hear a voice in the distance say, "Jump for me." Listen for it.
This is crazy. I heard it.
That last part, no. I think somebody on the boat said that. There was something in the water, probably dolphins or orcas or something, but come on, guys.
One of the scariest things that ever happened on live TV. Watch this.
On August 19th, 1987, a broadcast from the KNBC studios in Burbank, California was taking place. Everything was going as planned, that was until a special guest entered the room.
Now, one of the nicest things about shopping by mail order... Pardon me? What is this?
A man named Gary Stolman entered the room brandishing a firearm which has been blurred to accommodate TikTok's guidelines. He managed to gain access to the studio by claiming to be a guest of one of the station workers. He pointed the firearm at KNBC journalist David Horowitz and ordered him to read a written statement.
When I began receiving disturbing calls from my parents, which led me to believe that something terrible was going on.
This statement, prepared by Stolman himself, claimed that his father Max, who worked as the KNBC pharmacist reporter, was, quote, not his biological father, but a clone created by the CIA and alien forces. Despite Horowitz remaining calm, he later stated that he was frightened but remained calm so the situation did not get worse. After the statement was finished, Stolman placed the weapon on the desk and admitted it was an unloaded BB gun after being taken.
What a strange scenario. It's definitely believable, as we clone animals all the time, but I'm not sure about humans. Don't clones have a shorter lifespan? Damn, kitty. You were almost no more. Watch your pets, people. Watch your pets.
Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on. I don't even know how to explain what I'm seeing. Holy hell. No, this is crazy. Did you hear this last night? Oh, yeah. It was going last night. Now, did you... Charlie, come here. I guarantee it's going to keep on. It'll do it again.
Dude, I cannot tell if that's real or fake. How would he even do that? These are getting good. Good and scary. Can that really happen? happen from hitting a gas line? That is very scary. Hopefully nobody was in that house.
Aaron Hedges went missing on September 5th, 2014 while elk hunting in the Crazy Mountains in Montana. This was an area he knew like the back of his hand and spent every other weekend up there, in the words of his friends. 2 days after going missing, a huge snowstorm moved into the mountains. Rescue workers stumbled across his shoes and camelback water container. For someone to take off their shoes while there's 18 inches of snow on the ground seems to be a decision someone would make under severe hypothermia. But the strange thing is that 9 months later his backpack was found 6 miles down the mountain next to a place where someone clearly sat and had a thermos of tea. To add to the mystery, from this location he could clearly see people's houses and a road, but never went to them. 1 year later, his remains were found not far from that location. The only explanation for such strange disappearances seems to be linked to something we don't understand. After researching UFOs and aliens for years, I've come to the conclusion they are a spiritual phenomenon, and that is leading me to research a potential dark spiritual phenomenon causing people to disappear. Let me know what you think. I know it sounds crazy. Leave in the comments what you think is happening in these strange disappearances.
For those of you that don't know, hypothermia symptoms make you feel like you're getting really, really hot, and a lot of times people will start taking off their clothes.
What is the scariest thing that could happen while camping? Well, this one guy who was camping in Florida had a horrifying encounter. And before we get into it, I have a podcast episode of 2 of the scariest camping stories I've ever heard if you're interested. So years ago, a guy and his friend were camping in Florida when they came upon this old man's campground. It was in disarray, so they kind of got a bad feeling from it and they turned to leave. But then the guy comes out of the campsite and is like, oh, hey, he wants to talk to them. He starts engaging them. He's giving them suggestions of where to go in the woods, but he's telling them where to go in steps, not in miles or yards. So he's like, oh, the waterfall is 300 steps from here. And one of the guys thinks that's weird because that's really not common in the area to describe where to go. A few months pass and they basically just forget about this interaction, but one day one of the guys calls the other guy and is like, dude, you have to turn on the TV right now. And all over the news are pictures of this guy, the guy they saw, Gary Michael Hilton, who is a serial killer who preyed upon young women in national parks, kidnapping them and taking their lives. Some of the places he told the boys to go look at were places he had hid bodies. Both men were contacted by law enforcement and ended up giving very valuable information in the investigation.
I don't know why I watch these because I love going camping. I guess I won't be sleeping the next time I go.
They brought along a rope in hopes to make a makeshift rope swing. They found a perfect spot and they tied the rope around the tree, but as soon as the first person swings and jumps into the water, that's when they realized it wasn't the perfect spot at all. But it was too late.
Oh my god. That's
the man lands right next to a massive crocodile. The crocodile thankfully missed its bite. The man, who is in shock at what just happened, immediately flees and swims as fast as he can back to shore without incident. He somehow leaves this incident completely unharmed.
Whoa. That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Jesus.
Swear to God, that's a person. Dude, flash the light! If you're a person, flash the light! Okay, maybe it's not. Oh!
That might be somebody's drone. Still creepy though. I think I would freeze up for a couple of seconds if I saw that on my walk.
Top. Now, I never got into this stuff, ever. I don't care about it. And this is the problem. Nobody really does. But folks, when I lay out a clear, absolute clear, you cannot dispute this with the money that I have in front of me. There's no way to dispute this at all. You follow the track right now with me. And you look at when you fold an airplane, a paper plane with your money, and you go from the $1 bill to the $100 bill, okay? And listen to me when I say this, okay? I just showed you at the beginning of this video on Google that they redesigned the money in 1996. They started with the $100 bill, and then they moved on to the 50, and then the 20, and then the 10. And it goes 1996, 1997, 1998, and then in 2000 they were done with the redesign. Folks, this is undisputable. They executed a plan that was already planned. Okay, here's the 1 to the 5. The towers are hit. The buildings are falling. the buildings are gone, and all there's left is smoke. If I take the $20 bill right now, and I fold it like such in front of you, and this is the mind blower, okay? You tell me what you see when I fold this $20 bill. I'm gonna fill the whole, I'm gonna cut off his head a little bit here. Do you see a guy wearing a mask? Is there a guy wearing a mask? Is that Andrew Jackson upside down, but they made his head bigger because they want him to wear a mask? And what year did they want him to wear a mask? Oh, look at that, 2020.
I remember being in middle school folding the money to get the Twin Towers blowing up, man. So I can believe that one, that they're updating it.
So tell me what was weird about Antarctica?
There's nothing there. You can't go to the interior of Antarctica, which is where we were. There's no insects. There's no wildlife. The sun doesn't go down. But it's on an ice field. All sorts of crazy motherfuckers pass through there. Like, they'll come back in subsequent years and give talks on where they went and how they avoided these crevasses, which I had no fear of until I went to Antarctica and got the brief. You're dead. They'll never find you again.
So how deep are they?
Hundreds of feet deep.
Sometimes people just fall into them?
Oh, yeah. This is a guy who fell into one skiing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Who knows how much farther down that...
How did he get back out?
He might have self-rescued.
Self-rescued is a terrible fucking phrase.
It was crazy.
God.
No, I've seen that video before. I think he had some people with him, and I think they helped him. But yeah, those things are terrible.
Dude, that sounds like fucking like some scary movie shit.
Fucking middle of
Dude, I had
nowhere.
the biggest fucking revolver ever, dude. I had to fucking get it. Your face. That's probably... Dude, we're in the middle of nowhere. Dude, that sounds like some haunted ass shit, dude. What happened to the other steel target? There's two. Wait, what the fuck is one right there on the ground. What the fuck is that? On the ground. What the fuck is that? The fuck is what? That right there. What the fuck is that? Dude, that's not normal. No. Please tell me you're gonna fuck with me. Oh! No!
Dude, walk
They hear
right
a
into
terrifying scream which sends them running. But did you catch a glimpse? I missed it too.
Walk
But a
right into the
viewer
Blair
actually
Witch.
pointed this out, that when we enhance the brightness, we can see a creepy humanoid looking creature just standing behind a tree watching the guys in the woods.
Stop.
Some people thought that this figure could be a barn owl. However, the way it moved and constantly watched the guys just seemed like something more dangerous
that
and
might be an
unknown,
owl.
along
Yeah.
with the creepy screams. So what do you think is going on here? Let me know down in the comments.
That's why I only camp in state parks, man. I am not dealing with no Blair Witch.
Mary Reeser is one of over 200 cases reported of spontaneous human combustion. One night in 1951, Mary took a couple of sleeping pills and went to bed. Her landlord noticed the smell of smoke at 5 a.m. and ignored it, and then again at 8 a.m. when they decided to break into the apartment. They found Mary's remains in a pile near the recliner. Mary's skull was intact but had shrunk significantly, and part of her spine and left foot had been unscathed by the fire. Everything else was cremated, which is odd because for a body to be cremated, it has to be between 1400 and 1800 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 to 3 hours. And the rest of the apartment was totally fine. They ruled out an electrical fire. After months of investigating, law enforcement decided that she must have just fallen asleep while smoking a cigarette. But not everyone agrees with this explanation. Some think that she spontaneously combusted. There are over 200 reported cases of this phenomenon, and they all share similar circumstances. First of all, the victims are completely unalived, not partially burned. There doesn't seem to be a clear source of the ignition, and the surrounding areas are left unaffected. Get a deep dive with more information and theories on episode 55 of Night Classy, the podcast.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if maybe it was because back then people smoked a lot, or maybe their diets, something was causing them to catch on fire, because I don't think it's happened recently. I think this is a thing from like way back in the 50s and before, so who knows.
Have I ever experienced a ghost out in the woods? It was a few years ago up at a buddy's cabin. The weather was really bad, so we decided to stay in that night. And it was just me, my buddy, and his brother. And we were in the basement of the cabin. And in the basement, there's a U-couch and a TV. So we decided to play video games and watch movies all night. We all passed out, and at some point in the middle of the night I woke up and saw my buddy Rye on his phone, and I said, hey, you want to go upstairs to the kitchen and grab some food? I'm hungry. He said, absolutely. We went upstairs, we turned the light on to the kitchen, and there's his brother sitting there reading the newspaper. Rye said to his brother, what are you doing up? He didn't say anything, kept reading the newspaper, and the newspaper was upside down. I thought it was funny. So we grabbed what we needed from the fridge and said, Mike, you want anything? He still didn't say anything. I said, I'll leave the light on for you. As we're walking downstairs, I said to Rye, why was he reading the newspaper in the dark? That's weird. He chuckled, and we walked downstairs. We turned the light on in the basement, and there's Mike on the U-couch sleeping. Now, in order for this to happen, Mike would have had to run down the stairs, knock us over practically, and jump on the couch in front of us without us noticing. Just physically impossible. I ran back upstairs, and there's nobody in the kitchen, and I completely tripped out. We tried to wake up Mike. He's a deep sleeper, and he just got pissed off at us for trying to wake him up. And to this day, I have no idea what that was. I don't know if you call it a doppelganger or what you call it, but that was a ghostly encounter we had out in the woods.
I'm inclined to believe this. I might be schizo or something, because I've had similar experiences to this where I can almost swear as clear as day I can hear someone calling my name, and nobody has called my name. Well, that was it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Every one of you is awesome, and I love all of you guys. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.